Hello, welcome to Screen Source episode 26. How are all you lovely people?
Doing wonderful. How about yourself, my friend?
I'm doing okay. Yeah. Thank you. We are about to watch everybody's favorite show on television right now, Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Season 2 trailer, and then we're gonna, riff on some other things. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound
yeah.
good?
Yep.
Cool. You want to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do
it.
Is this what freedom looks like? What will happen when I get out? There probably is no out. Gilead is within you.
We can't explain this away. They will say that we're part of the resistance.
If you'd shown that girl 1 ounce of kindness, she would never have left.
I will find every person involved and then they will be punished.
You will love the Lord thy God with all your heart, or you will feel the pain of his judgment, for that is his love.
Oh, wow.
No matter what, I'm not gonna stop.
I'm trying to keep you alive. You and our baby.
She left me once. Now I have to leave her.
If your house has been infected with terrorists, I need to know. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us.
We come here, we work, we die. And the future of mankind depends on what we do today!
My name is June Osborne. I am free.
Wow.
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 It's weird to see her within a normal society, or see normal society people within that show at any point.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well,
I always like those flashbacks to the before times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I want to see the prequel to this.
I just want to point out something that I noticed
The
during
first
the
season?
trailer that I don't think was intentional, is that when they were talking about, this is who we are, and this is what we that part where everybody was holding up the signs in what looked like an airport, somebody very clearly was holding up a sign that said, "Fuck off, fascists."
That's awesome.
nice. I like that.
That's
Also,
good.
the first armed guard wearing a gray watch cap looked like Bill Murray, and that made me laugh too.
Bill Murray on season 2 of Handmaid's
Yeah.
Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
So Jess, you have an intimate relationship with this show.
Oh, I love this show. It's so good. But it's hard to watch. I will warn you guys about that. I mean, it's very well what our country could turn into if things keep going south. Especially
like
for
a-
women's rights.
It's like a long season of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
One episode just spent it for a season.
yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I would say it's pretty accurate. It's just I feel like the first season, because it's trying to introduce you to people and kind of it's hard to watch the first season. I think the second season is going to be about the redemption and the rebellion, and so it's going to get really a lot more action packed. There's going to be a lot more like storylines that actually make you feel like, okay, this is gonna get better. This isn't just gonna be like awful.
So what happened at the end of the first season?
Spoilers.
She,
Warning, click away now.
Her friend, I think her name's Moira, she escapes to Canada, and
Was she the one who was holding a sign saying, "My name is Moira"?
Yeah,
knocking
yeah,
on the limo
yeah.
Right
glass.
on.
She's she escapes to Canada, and Canada is, of course, better than the U.S. in terms of like in this particular world, they let women, be free and not be surrogates for people to have children. And so she gets there, and that's awesome. And then she meets up with the main character's husband, who also escaped to Canada. And then the main character, like, she finally gets pregnant, but it's not the husband who she lives with. It's not his baby. It's somebody else's baby.
Well, do we know whose baby?
So yeah, it's the kind of good-looking Hispanic guy that is like the driver for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
family.
yeah.
It's
We
very
thought he might
complicated and
be-
complex. You just have to watch it.
Yeah, didn't we think that maybe he was the person that was what do they call them? That was like the secret person. He's the spy.
He's
the
like
mole.
the eye.
Yeah,
they call them the eyes.
Yeah, but he's not the eye.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he is, but I think he's like a double agent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like, yeah.
He's changed the way he works out his capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he's
like,
a
"Fuck
double
it,
agent
I'm
at
out."
this point. It's so good. You guys just like
Check it out.
know that the first season is really hard to watch, but that this looks really redeeming, and it's gonna get like badass.
Well, they know how to make a powerful trailer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Nice and intense.
I think a handful of us had the same relationship. I watched the first like couple episodes, and I was like, "This is so overwhelming."
What do I do with this? Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't. Like it was very hard to process. When they had a scene of a woman getting lynched for 0 reasons, is when I was like, I can't handle this anymore.
And just like watching a childbirth, it's just like, what is going? This is so
there's
weird.
all kinds of it's very hard to watch, but you got to watch it knowing that like
the power plays.
it's important.
Yeah.
The message is
Yeah.
really important.
I remember the book,
Yep.
and it was just like, it is terrible.
Yeah.
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 So watch Handmaid's Tale season 2.
Great
It'll be
show.
terrible.
It's a
Terrible
big bummer.
message.
Yeah.
It's gonna be better
be
than the first
awful.
season, and
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be better than the first.
Cry.
Season.
Or
It's
I'm
gonna be like,
I'll amend
yes,
that. The
we're getting
themes will be
back at
terrible.
these assholes. So I
Yeah.
think that's
Sure.
hopefully what it's gonna be like.
That'll be fun.
Sweet. Who wants to take the first story?
that'll,
This is the news portion of the show where what happened last week?
Oh, is this news about last week, right?
This is all last
Yeah.
week.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I can
copy.
talk about the bottom
Okay.
right or bottom left. Sorry.
Sure.
Which is A League of Their Own.
Mm-hmm. What's
They're-
happening?
Amazon is going to be doing a TV show version of this, and the producers are going to be Abby Jacobson from Broad City and Will Graham from Mozart in the Jungle.
Oh, cool.
I haven't watched Mozart in the Jungle. I've heard lots of good things about it.
Love it.
And
Is Abby
then
the crazier one?
No.
She's the one that's a little more.
That's Alana.
Okay.
Abby's the little bit more.
We're actually going to see her in a trailer today.
When
I
she's
don't know
got
if I would
the.
say that she's less crazy.
Yeah, they're both pretty crazy.
They're both
There's one
pretty
of them's
crazy.
clearly a little more subtle.
One has a drunk version
Okay.
that sings inside a jazz bar. That's the only one I care about.
That
That's
is
the-
Abby.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, they're both amazing.
They're
That
both up.
show is so
It's so
fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
She's the one that I relate to.
Okay, so she's producing the show.
Yeah, so
Okay.
she's producing this show. It is based on the original movie with Gina Davis and Tom Hanks. And I don't know who is going to be starring in this.
Maybe it's not slated yet.
Yeah, it doesn't really say.
But it's in production.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I don't know have you guys all seen the movie?
I have not.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great
great.
film. Love
It's
it.
a great movie.
There's no crying
What's it based
in
off, Jess?
baseball.
What?
What's the movie based off of again?
There's no crying
It's
in
based
baseball.
off of this movie, which is about baseball, and it's about the time period during
It's
World
about a
War II.
World War
female's.
II.
Yeah.
When all the men were obviously away at
Yeah.
war, and the women decided to do a baseball league.
Yeah.
So
Girls do baseball. How?
girls can play.
Yeah. It's
girls
pretty
can
great.
do anything.
It also has one of
No, I
Tom
understand
Hanks'
this
iconic peeing scenes
Yeah.
that he manages to work in.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? This has to be you. It has to be coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Nobody-
the one constant in
Yeah.
all of these things.
Yeah.
And also, it's like the really bad forced. I feel like extremely super forced love story.
Yeah.
Love line.
Yeah, they really didn't need to.
They
Didn't
don't
need
need it,
Didn't need
but
it.
they had to.
I do like to say, though, that watching a League of Their Own was what began my decades-long crush on Lori Petty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's so
we good?
cute.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Very cute.
What else is going on, guys?
In that upper left corner there, we have Amazon has greenlit a series for Cortes, and it's going to have Javier Bardem, Steven Spielberg, and
So Bardem is directing and Spielberg's acting. Finally, this is what
Yeah.
we've been waiting for.
Yeah, 4-part miniseries. It's gonna be really interesting to see him as a director. It's gonna be really weird.
So he's not playing Cortez.
No. Javier Bardem is in the title role. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was joking.
I was going to say
Sorry,
that
guys.
it's,
I was like,
it's with Javier Bardem and Steven Spielberg, and right in the middle there, the King of Diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was.
His
Yeah.
first role in a
I-
major film.
I
Yes.
feel it's appropriate because he's Spanish, and this is supposed to be about a conquistador. But
Yep,
I'm also
about
like kind of
Hernan
like,
Cortes.
ooh, conquistadors suck. So I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
it's gonna be. It's supposed to show the shitty part of it and the legend. Like,
It's like, conquistadors, you can go
This
to
is
hell.
awesome, but also really, really bad. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're sugarcoating shit less and less nowadays. And
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like. It's very surprising like we haven't moved past the conquistador love for conquistadors, and it's like my school mascot when I was as a
Not our love, just so everyone knows.
no, like America's love.
America's
love. Yeah,
It's
the
like
America's the Southwest's love of conquistadors,
Southwest.
because if you step outside of the Southwest and you say conquistador, people will look at you and go, "I don't what?
I don't. What is that?
What are you talking
Sure,
about?"
you're right. Yeah, but that was my mascot in high school.
Yeah, you say
I
colonizers or colonials, and they're like, "Oh,
But I like their hats. That's all I will say.
Yeah.
Not so much their policies towards non-Christians.
Have we seen them together before? Can you guys remember a time of seeing Bardem and Spielberg?
I cannot.
I can't
cannot.
either.
Yeah, I don't
so
think
this
they've ever
actually
worked together.
could be very fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Spielberg.
That and Spielberg still got it, but we'll talk about that later.
Mean,
Okay.
he's lost a majority of his magic, which is what my brother actually said about something we're going to talk about later. But I do think that he still can do a good serious film. So this seems like it will be serious, and because of that, I think it should be good.
Should be good because I feel like Spielberg now, in his age, he's just lost that child wonder that he used to capture so well.
Yep.
And
Except for in Ready Player One, of course.
Of course. I mean,
we're not. We're talking about this
thing
later.
Ever exist. Yeah.
Nope.
So we'll wait on that one.
Yes.
But yeah, it'll be
But
really
can
interesting.
you do a good conquistador film?
You know, if he makes it out to be as terrible as it actually was, then I will watch it.
Yeah. And that'll be hit or miss because I've not seen him get to that. I've never seen him do that type of art film type project.
Yeah.
So that'll be weird to see.
If it's not glorified, then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of tired of
Probably going to be glorified.
that.
Because it's done by Amblin Studios.
I don't think it's gonna be glorified. I don't think Spielberg's gonna let that happen.
Oh, I feel like it will.
Yeah.
I mean, considering his work lately, I feel like
Considering
old
the
white
movie
guy.
we just got, I really don't think.
yeah.
He's an
Wait.
white dude.
That's very different than. We'll talk about Ready
yeah,
Player
yeah,
One.
we'll talk
when we
about
get
that
there.
later.
Yes,
We're-
I know. It's
we're-
like all of our
we're
pent up
veering
anger.
Off topic.
Yes.
We're veering.
What's going on with Deadpool?
Sorry.
Nothing is going on with Deadpool.
I know that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Canceled.
It has been canceled. FX and Marvel Studios team up has been canceled.
Aw.
Marvel pulled out.
BS.
Essentially, they did not agree with the scripts. They didn't like the direction the scripts are going.
How dare
With the
they
Glovers.
be M-rated?
I know.
How
FX
dare
had
they.
no problem, by the way. FX
Yeah.
had no problem with them
Yeah.
or their
They
scripts
loved it.
whatsoever, which is great.
Yeah, but Marvel wanted Childish Gambino to do it, not
Not Donald Glover.
not Donald Glover. I know. Thank you. Did you see
Why
that?
are we doing
Not
this?
enough coffee.
Stupid
Not
joke.
enough
Did you
coffee.
see that article? Did we talk about this? The article is like, the title was like, I have guys, I think that Childish Gambino and Donald Glover are the same person.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I love
Yes.
it so much.
Yes.
Never
The
seen
best
the same
article.
room.
It's really funny.
No.
It's pretty great.
No, it can't be.
Yeah. So nothing's going on with it, which is really sad. They did Donald Glover tweeted out like a 15-page script.
Yeah.
That was just scathing.
I think we will, depending. I need to check out the legality.
You gotta
Apparently.
read that thing.
Yeah.
That would be a nice difference from having a terrible script to reading a good one for once.
There's a triple reading right now.
And
is
that could probably
good.
get done in one episode.
However,
Yeah.
their also newest stuff was that Stephen Glover was like they were gonna have legitimately there was gonna be a Taylor Swift episode, and he said that was the last straw. And I don't know in what context that is the last straw, because did you guys make a Taylor Swift episode and Marvel was like, we're out? Or did Marvel
move,
be like, no,
Marvel.
but we
I hate
need
Taylor
you
Swift.
to we need you to touch base with this cultural icon. We need you to have a
Oh
Taylor
my
Swift
God.
episode. And Donald and Stephen Glover were both like,
No.
fuck no.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to.
Sorry, T Swift fans. I am not a T Swift fan.
They're just going to have to.
I'm
work
not
Deadpool
going
into
to
Atlanta.
apologize for not
Yeah.
being a fan.
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
am
he's Glover's gonna be okay.
Thank
Is
you.
really
I'm
what
glad.
we're
I'm not alone in this.
is really a takeaway from this.
I think this
Also,
whole table's not at all
Not into
disappointed in
T-Swift?
seeing T-Swift and anything.
No,
He just has a crush on her, but that's about it.
Do you? Do you though?
So there was a short little thing that they made of this. They made a tiny short of this, and I could not
some
find
leaked
it.
footage.
Yeah, I could not
There's
find
some
it. They
leaked
took
footage
it
that has
down.
already been just
Taken
snatched
down.
right on down.
Yeah. And it's gonna be on Pornhub probably in the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
kids, so.
Unless it's the T Swift episode on Pornhub,
God.
then
I was gonna say it's Hornhub now.
It's Hornhub, yeah. I feel like okay, wait. One thing is, do you guys think there's gonna be a new network that exists now, or a new YouTube takeover of like a replacement? Because right now people are going to literally Pornhub and like all these places they used to go to just for that, and now it's like anything that has to do with any foul language is starting to switch.
Yeah,
over.
I remember when The Big Sick was on Pornhub and Kumail Nanjiani.
Actually, on Reddit, they announced that Pornhub is considering doing a legit non-porn streaming site to compete with YouTube.
Okay, so that wasn't caught on mic, but Reddit mentioned
What
that they
world
are
do we live in?
They're thinking about making a non-porn related YouTube version of the website.
Yeah, I'm jumping on. I'm sorry, guys.
This is a little crazy. I don't know.
I will split the company and have our stuff will be on that network. I'm just saying right now.
You heard it here. Bond's going to team up with a Canadian company, Pornhub.
I'm fine with sponsorship.
Right. So next slide, please.
Nice. No, that's excellent. We need to just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of that
Fernando,
title.
just in general.
Off color circuit.
Do you want to take the next one?
All right. So the next one that we've got coming up is showing that they're doing the Carmen Sandiego movie for Netflix, and it is San Diego. And it's going to be starring Gina Rodriguez, the star of Jane the Virgin. As read here in Variety, the Jane the Virgin star will top line a live-action film for the streamer. Rodriguez will star in and produce the movie through her I Can and I Will productions, alongside producers Kevin Misher and Caroline Fraser. Andy Berman of Misher Films is the executive producer. So, yeah, and it looks like she's going to also be voicing the title character in the animated Carmen Sandiego series for Netflix as well.
Okay, cool,
yeah,
cool.
and it's going to start next year, is what it says here. Yeah, and I am totally on board with this because I played the shit out them games when I was little.
I watched the show and I loved it.
Fuck you, Spiel. Oh wait,
I loved those games.
Yeah,
she's great.
Yeah,
she's hot.
Yeah,
she's.
I think
she's a spy. Everybody wants to be a spy.
Yeah, especially with that red trench coat and hat.
So this was this made into a cartoon at some point?
Not that I remember.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's
well,
what
it's
I'm
about
It
to
was on
be.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
It was a Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yeah.
It may have become one after I was.
Yeah, I think I was like I just passed it or.
Yeah, you were a bit young.
Was it
for
late
that.
'80s, early '90s, maybe?
Early 90s.
It would have
I feel like
been
there's-
like early to mid, just because that was about the point
Yeah.
at which I stopped watching. It was
Yeah.
right around the time like Power Rangers became big.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
when I
Right
kind
around
of
that time.
pulled back from
Had that
like,
power struggle.
Yeah, heavy cartoon saturation.
Yeah.
In my head, for some reason, it's like the same style as.
Well, they did make a video game based off it, and there's been a few iterations of it in comics and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So like,
So
that's,
we've seen this before. This isn't the
Yeah.
first time. Okay.
It's funny because I was looking for pictures today, and there were like all these different celebrities
cosplays.
that were like people were wanting to play her, and one of them was like Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, that's amazing.
Another one
Nope.
was like, hot redhead. Forget her name.
Julianne Moore. Oh my goodness.
That would be a
Amy
good one,
Adams.
actually.
There's so many.
Amy
There's
Adams,
just a
I
lot of
think, was
redheads.
one.
Isla
But-
Fisher.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's
I
just
guess
name
Gina-
redheads
I
now.
guess- yeah, I guess Gina Rodriguez is a good one. I like that.
you look
I
like
that,
all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
yes. Due to our one common denominator.
and one would figure that the name Carmen Sandiego would be at least marginally Hispanic.
You would hope.
Who would have thought? That was so
Yeah.
empowering.
So that's great. I'm glad that they chose a Hispanic.
It's
female
culturally
to
correct.
Play her. That
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
yep.
Is
awesome.
Jane the Virgin canceled now? I remember.
I think so. I thought it was doing
Something. It's
really
not?
well.
Okay.
I
All
haven't
right.
watched it, but I've heard that it's doing.
I've
really
never
well.
even
I
heard
don't
of it.
think so.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Okay.
It's still
Yeah,
around.
yeah, I haven't watched it, but you want to take the next
Cool.
one, Jess?
Yeah, sure. So Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler are saying that they're gonna probably do another movie together. They do one every like 10 years or something like that. I don't even remember what the last one was. I'm sure it wasn't good because the last one that was good was a long time ago. And so I don't know. My favorite one from them is probably something you'll all be able to guess what it is. and we're actually going to play a game.
I don't know you that well,
yes.
so
Yeah.
I
Around
don't
this.
know.
Later.
She is referring to The Wedding Singer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, because I was
Copy.
going to say,
Good
please
guess.
don't let it be 51st
51st
Dates.
No,
Dates,
no,
Because
no.
that movie is so incredibly
That's literally
I
the
don't like
only
that
movie
movie.
I could think of in this moment. I don't
They've
really
done
watch Adam
three or
Sandler movies.
four.
Wedding Singer is the best one,
it's
and
very
it's
good.
like
That's the only one that
I
really
mean,
matters.
I
Yeah.
love
Wait,
Drew
wait, what
Barrymore.
of what?
I have a thing for her. I just think she's
Adam
so
Sandler
Of
movies
Adam
of the
Sandler.
90s?
Ooh, we're
Out
gonna
of
have
their-
a
no,
fight
out of their
about it
team
later.
ups.
And you know why? It's part of our game show today.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
first one to go.
So yeah. So anyway, if you haven't seen Wedding Singer, it's delightful.
It's very good.
Please watch.
It's a good
Yes.
one.
John Lovitz, Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really is like every 10 years they do a movie.
Yeah, it'll probably be bad, but
Which is really weird.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's like a great partnership to be like, dude, I haven't seen you in 10 years.
Yeah,
You're,
she's
like,
doing
hanging
Santa
out for, like,
Clarita
3
She's
Diet
months.
doing
now,
really
you know?
well on Santa Clarita Diet.
Did you watch that?
Apparently.
Did you
I
watch a little bit?
started watching it and I couldn't get through it because it's so gory. I mean, it's supposed to be funny. It's a comedy, but
It's Dexter
it's-
Gory mixed with
it's
like the
extremely
type
gory. I
of
mean, it's just her eating people.
eating people.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Happy cannibalism.
next.
I'll take the last of the
one.
news. Paramount lands Intruders, a James V. Simpson alien home invasion script for Ready Player One and It producers. It is. They are taking inspiration from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay.
And I am excited. I want to see the producers of It do more things. I want to see the producers of Ready Player One do more things.
Okay.
And
Why are you looking at
I
me
don't
like
know.
that?
I should be looking at Bond.
For the record, it is way better than Ready Player One.
I don't know.
Just saying.
It's the forgetful.
I keep forgetting. I just keep thinking everybody at this table hates that movie, but that's not true.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, that's
I
not
just-
true.
I'm
Well,
just saying it is
I'm sorry.
better.
Like it's hard not
It
to
is
talk
definitely
about this
better.
film.
Yeah. Stop.
I
We're
can't-
dropping hints like crazy.
It's hard. Well, again, though, it has to do with the news because it's the
everywhere
producers
right now.
of this.
Yeah.
And so
Of course,
you
there's
know,
big hype about that.
and inspiration from Close Encounters.
I
I'm
love
okay with
Close
that because Close
Encounters.
Encounters is great. I watched it for the first time last year.
Yeah, two different groups, fantastic at choosing projects that have high CGI value, a lot of adaptations from stories,
Yeah.
and choosing really strong like teams to put this together.
Is Close Encounters based off a book?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. All right. So yeah, those are all actually really good points. They're all adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Should
happy
be
to see
good.
that.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Let's move on to our next segment called Coming Soon Now with Post Tomatoes, which always comes before
Green tomatoes.
Green tomatoes.
Green tomatoes.
Bond.
I was a little
Fried
late on
Green
that.
Tomatoes is a good movie. Just saying, it's a tearjerker.
Well, yeah,
Um,
Post Tomatoes
it also
always comes
sounds
out
delicious.
before. It comes after Green Tomatoes, not before.
Oh, that's right.
You
After
almost
Green
had
Tomatoes.
it. You
That's
almost
true.
had it. Anyways, the point of this segment is every week we talk about the new television or films that are coming out for that week. We assign what we believe the Rotten Tomatoes scores are going to be. And here are the three that we talked about last week. Silicon Valley, Ready Player One, and Happy Anniversary. The Ben Schwartz, James Stan, is that his name? He did, I said this last week and I kept forgetting it. Wreck-It Ralph. He did Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, that's right.
So Silicon Valley, we all guessed collectively that the
Really high.
first episode of season 4 was going to be 80.
Wow.
And boy, were we wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost
Even higher.
100%.
97%,
Yeah,
yes.
Yep.
that must have been
It's
a
like,
really good
bye-bye,
season.
TJ Miller.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have raped that woman.
Les Miller.
Jesus,
Higher
man, right on
ratings.
the nose.
Yeah.
Flaming
I
hot.
mean,
And he's in a movie we're going to talk about, which is Ready Player One at some point.
gosh.
We guessed 64.83%. Wow, that's specific.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna need like a beer before we.
Man,
Talk
like,
about
I'm
this
gonna need.
goddamn
Yeah, I'm gonna need to
We're
chug
off
some shots.
yet again, 76%.
And that was my original guess. If we go back,
Was it?
that's
Was
exact.
it?
That was my
Yeah.
original guess.
We're in other words, like we're guessing.
I guessed
low.
really low.
Yeah.
We're guessing
We're
super
guessing
low
low this week. Yeah.
We weren't wrong about Happy Anniversary, though. We guessed 67, and it is lower
Ooh,
than
that's
our
kinda
score.
sad.
60. Yeah, it is kind of sad.
I mean, I'm not really surprised. You have to think about this. This is a romance novel or a romance film, and romance films usually don't do that great if there's not enough hype to them. You don't get big enough
Yeah.
names. Like no one's really hyped about the film.
I imagine it's a rom-com because it's got Ben Schwartz in it, but none of us saw this, I'm
Well,
assuming.
No.
the reason though that it fell short of our expectations was because they didn't cast Zach.
Zach Braff?
No.
Oh, Zach, our friend.
No, our Zach.
Our
Yeah.
Zach,
'Cause he
Zach
looks
Cordova.
exactly
It
like
should have been
Ben
Zach.
Schwartz.
Should have
Yeah,
been Zach.
because
Yeah.
he occupies the same space right there. I would say.
We all screwed up by not getting him. I did not watch.
mistakes.
I forgot that Silicon Valley came out, so I'm gonna go home and watch that probably tonight.
I'll probably watch Happy Anniversary actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I will too.
Really?
Even though it got a bad score, because like it's a movie, it's probably only like a couple hours.
Yeah, I have to watch Silicon Valley from the beginning because when a show first came out, I got really angry at it.
You did?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's a weird.
It was. I think it was because I was like programming at the time, and I was like, I don't want to fucking deal with this right now. I don't want this in my shows.
It's kind of about like how much it sucks.
It's bullshit.
It's
life
awesome.
sucks.
It's a very good show. They also threw some heat at Facebook because at the beginning, the opening credits, it has all these. It has like Twitter logo, and then it has Facebook, and it's all Silicon Valley based companies.
Yeah.
And Facebook, they like switched it over to like Greek symbols or something. I'm not entirely,
Just stealing information. It's all right. Just being drained anyways.
But anyways, so that was last week's shows and films. Let's talk about coming soon now with Pre-Tomatoes, which always comes after
Post-Tomatoes.
or
Green tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Green tomatoes. Is that how that works? Fried red tomatoes.
glad
There's
to see the
only
rest of
ever
it on
like
it.
one or two of us on it.
Yeah. I'll never get the
It's never,
ensemble
like, the
cast.
full-
I
yeah.
don't. It's not.
It's okay.
I'd refuse.
But
If
that's
Kevin
our
was
cast.
here, he would have hit me, and I would have been passed out because I talked badly about T Swift. So just sorry, Kevin, if you're watching.
Kevin, I'm not
I
sorry.
still love you.
I'm not sorry.
I don't
either.
still love T Swift. All right, so
Coming up this week, we have The Crossing. This is an adventure drama sci-fi. Refugees from a war-torn country 180 years in the future start showing up in the present to seek asylum in an American town.
Oh.
I watched the trailer
that's
earlier
right.
today. I
I
believe it's an
forgot about that.
ABC show.
Yeah.
It reminds me, some parts of it remind me a little bit of like Lost.
A bit of
There's
Lost, a bit of Under the Dome, and like kind of like
yeah,
this is gonna be very weird.
It's interesting because the trailer largely focuses on these people that are washing up to shore and they look like dead bodies, but they're all waking up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a
Sort of
little girl
stasis.
doing a lot of the talking, and she's woke. She wakes up.
She's
She's
woke.
woke.
I was
She's
gonna
woke.
say,
woke.
This little girl's woke as fuck. Woke as fuck.
Woke AF, guys.
180
Woke
years
AF.
woke as fuck. Yeah, so she's from the future. She's back, and they're like, "What happened?" And she's like, "We were running from the war." And they're like, "What war?" And she's like, "You'll see." And then it kind of fades to black.
What, the future,
Then
a
she
war
was
with
like, "Yo,
themselves?
Your fucking caveman system of
Yeah,
morals,
yeah, exactly.
morals and ethics in the 2010s is disgusting.
Yeah, and then
Fuck's
so
sake,
this
get
is
some
the
class.
prequel, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
And then-
Everything would have been fine.
yeah.
Just
So it looks interesting. I mean, it's TV, so it's definitely shot a certain way, and like for some reason that it like I want it to be a movie, but also maybe it's just the poster because it's
Yeah.
very movie
It's a
poster.
very,
Yeah.
very pretty poster.
Or a BBC miniseries.
Or that. That's
It's
true.
like
Yeah.
it's like the opposite
That's what I said best.
of what they were doing. Did any of you read Transmetropolitan?
No.
Okay, phenomenal comic series. Anyway, one of the craziest things that happens is it's a dystopian future. Oh,
No, I'm doing it on purpose.
yes, but
Okay.
but it's this dystopian future where we kind of already lost track of years, and people of our time had finally figured out cryogenic suspension.
Okay.
So people from our time get into a future where the same kind of diseases are no longer a problem, and they're revived in this future where they are as cavemen to people, and it's just they tend like they're just a fucking drain on resources and all this other stuff, and they're referred to as revivals, and usually they end up suffering such tremendous culture shock that they just end up homeless. Like homeless and crazy.
Yeah, they just have
and
no
what
clue
a
what to do.
horrible world it would be where you don't understand. Because, in like 200 years or so in the future,
Right.
we're not going to be talking like this anymore.
Sure.
How are you going to be able to communicate with people, you know?
Bleeps and blops. That's what I
Yeah,
It's a
imagine.
future we're
and
not
if,
thinking
and if
about.
you're like, fucking bleep blorp, and they're like, you're a racist.
I don't know what happened.
I'm just trying to fit in.
I was just trying to say hi.
Yeah.
I thought that's how the cool kids say hi.
I mean, I'm hoping it's through what is it called when you can read people's minds?
Telepathy?
I'm hoping it's through
Is that
telepathy.
telepathy?
No, it's using message. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
it's using psionic
D&D's
cultural
It's just
osmosis.
like bubbles. Word bubbles are coming out.
Yeah,
Inside of
not
your
even
head.
bubbles anymore. They're back to emojis. It's just pure
Pure
emojis.
emojis.
Yeah.
No. All right.
What else is coming out this week,
Back to
Eve?
hieroglyphs. Blockers.
Cock
is fun.
blockers?
Yes, which
Doesn't
there are
make sense.
like yeah, I know.
What is this
I'm-
about? I don't know
Shouldn't it be a
anything.
cat?
It's yes, that's what I'm
Pussy
saying.
blockers.
Pussy blockers. Come on, guys.
Oh,
Get it
they're all
together.
girls. Okay.
Yes, because they're all girls.
I
Okay,
see,
so
I
it's a classic sort of 80s trope that's been flipped on its head, where these three girls make a pact where they're going to lose their virginity before they graduate high school,
Got it.
essentially just because they're bored. and they wanna,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
why I lost
great.
my
Sounds
virginity.
sounds about
That's a
right.
good
Yeah,
reason to lose
I
your
know,
virginity.
and
Yeah.
it's so from the trailers I've seen and everything. They're so like refreshingly, just like open about it. They're like, no, look, I want to go to the
need to get
dance.
laid, yeah.
I want to get drunk. I want to get super stoned, and I want to get laid. Let's
Nice.
get this done.
And then out.
Yeah, and it has one of my favorite lines, which is in reference to penises. They're not, what is it? She's like, they're not decorative. They're for use. Like they're like plungers. And I thought that was great. That's wonderful. And it had John Cena's in it, and
He's very good at comedy nowadays.
Is he? So his last movie was
He's a
Ferdinand.
comedic
I don't
guy.
think any of us saw that.
no.
What is?
Did okay.
I didn't know he was
He's
a
acceptable.
comedian all of a sudden.
It was
Did you see him in Trainwreck?
nominated
No.
for
Yeah, he
Oscar.
was very funny in
He
Trainwreck.
was
Okay,
extremely
so we
funny.
like John
So
Cena.
he's sort of moving up in the world of
becoming
pro
an
wrestler.
actor.
So he
turned
did what The
actor.
Rock
He's
did.
doing. He's
Yes,
he's
and
coming
what
out.
A true
Batista did.
transition.
I mean,
Yeah.
The Rock is like the
It was
gotta
very
be the
different.
highest,
It goes
highest
The
paid
Rock,
actor right now.
then
Yeah.
Batista, then
Then
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
I
Yeah.
think Cena's even higher than Batista because
No.
Here's the thing: Batista does one thing.
I know, but
That's
Batista
serious
is
though, look.
legitimately like a bigger.
And was Batista
Yeah.
like at the Oscars this
getting
year?
better.
Because
I don't
he's in a
think
couple
so.
other things too now.
Yeah, all serious action films.
He took acting lessons.
That's
He
a good
was so
start.
excited to be
was so happy.
Drax that
Yeah.
he like cried. He was
And
It's a good story.
Anyway.
It's a great story.
dropped 35 pounds to play Drax.
yes, which
Yeah.
I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dropped.
Yeah, he went from 270 to 235.
Jeez.
And that's like
Wow.
just pure muscle.
Freakishly monstrous.
Who
as a
are
human
these
being.
young women? I don't know that I've
Okay.
seen them.
I don't think we have.
Okay, so these are
I
fresh
could
faces.
be wrong. These are
All
fresh
fresh
faces,
faces.
and
Cool.
the idea
Or
is that
from TV shows or something.
they're like their parents are sort of spying on them and trying desperately to stop them.
Got it.
Sure.
They
As most
are
parents
being
do.
the cock blockers.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
And
Or
there's
should
apparently an iconic scene. Everything sort of culminates with John Cena having to
Butt chug.
butt chug.
Butt chug.
Oh,
Chug
God.
through a butt.
Okay,
Go
so-
watch Jackass
Whoa.
2 or 3.
Boy,
I don't
they
know.
Yeah,
get
I
weird.
don't-
Yeah, he's getting into some weird shit nowadays.
Yeah.
It's
ready
that
for
sort
that.
of like raunchy humor, but from everything that I've read, all of the reviews and everything, it's that it's really,
I've been hearing
really
it's doing
funny.
okay. Yeah.
Like it's really funny and it's really sort of clever and it's fresh and it's
I'm good
not
with that.
sort of
It's the
what
right amount of
you're like,
ridiculousness to
like
it.
oh, this is just gonna be another one like this.
And
Like,
it's kind of
Yeah.
fun to see like atypical. These aren't like the best comedians of our times making
Yeah.
a movie together. Like
Yeah.
we're not all waiting for
and I can't remember the
Seth
redhead's
Rogen
name.
again or
It's
whatever.
not
It's
grown
on
up.
What's
Judd
her name?
Apatow's wife. That's his wife.
I know, but I just can't
Oh,
remember
really?
her
I
name.
cannot remember her name though.
And
But
wait a
yes.
minute, who's that on the right?
Leslie
Is that-
Mann.
Okay,
Yep, Leslie
I was
Mann.
going to say, is
That's
that
Judd Apatow's
Jamie
wife.
Kennedy? Or
No, that's not Jamie
No,
Kennedy.
no,
That's
That's Leslie Mann, and then sort of like poor man's Marky Mark over on the end there.
Yeah.
Miles
Who's that?
Oh, Donnie Wahlberg.
It's not actually a
It's
Wahlberg.
not a Wahlberg. It just
Not a
looks like a
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Oh, well, I was
Ike
going to say,
Barinholtz.
is
He
it just
does
me,
kind of
or
look
does
like Donnie Wahlberg.
John Cena look like the lost Wahlberg brother?
He does.
Oh,
he really
a little
does.
bit.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that the girl looking particularly annoyed in the bottom corner,
She's cute.
with her arms crossed,
Yeah.
is also she's closeted. She's a closeted lesbian.
Nice.
So they have that arc going
Oh,
where
that's
she
cool.
agrees
Oh
to
my.
just go
That's
have
cool.
sex with all like when when
It's
all of
like-
her friends do. She's like
Well,
Sure.
okay.
She's doubly annoyed.
just once. You get once. Yeah.
Like, we'll
Also-
see how this works
For
out.
her, it's
With the ringlets
arguably a
in the hair,
lot
she looks like one
easier
of those
to
classical
have
Greek
sex
statues.
because she could just tell her parents like, "Hey, I'm having
No,
some
not
friends
PowerPoint.
over.
Camera switches.
We're gonna
Yes.
go in my room and lock the door,
Yeah.
Yes.
and everything's fine."
Yeah, but
And
it's
here-
the whole. But she's closeted, so
So
a
for
fun
her,
twist.
it's like every gay person ever who's like, yeah, I had this fake boyfriend for like 2 months, or it's like I slept with one guy. It's like the one experience.
we had to
Right.
make sure. Or the
Yeah.
guys is like I went down on a
Went
dude
down.
once, and I'm fine. I'm good. I don't ever need
Yeah,
to do
I
that
don't
ever
wanna do that
again.
ever again.
I'm certain.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, fair enough.
I think I'm gonna go see this for the same reason I
into
saw
it.
like
Yeah.
Game Night, which came out like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I want to see that.
was
It was
fun.
it was just fun.
Yeah,
you know,
this
it's
looks like
not-
it's just gonna be fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be a fun
I-
film.
Easy fun time.
Good time.
Yep.
And the last one, I really want to talk
Oh
about
my
A Quiet Place.
God.
I've
wanna
been
see
waiting
this
for
so
this
bad.
for fucking
It
ever.
looks so
Fucking amazing film.
Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, coming out this Thursday. Quiet Place, co-written by John Krasinski. He picked up the scripts from these two writers, And John Krasinski also acted in it, and he's also directing it. And this is his third directorial debut.
It's
His
not really
first,
a debut at that
It's
point.
not a debut. It's his 27th debut.
How debut
Third
works.
effort.
His third effort. Yeah, I was looking for a different word. I couldn't find it. But it's his first like major motion picture. So there's a debut there. Although he's done, I think, some TV shows and stuff. His I was looking at his IMDb earlier. He's got a
Crazy
enormous
amount.
list. This guy is like crushing it right now.
doing it.
He's got that Amazon original. Which
Reacher?
one?
Jack Reacher?
No, not Jack Reacher. Oh, is it Jack Reacher?
I think it is. Is it?
I'm pretty sure he's in the newest Jack.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one. But anyways, we're supposed to assign Rotten Tomatoes scores,
Yeah.
and so I don't want to say it. I think I know the scores to all of them.
Okay, so you.
But I
you
will
can't be
say
part of this
that just like Blockers, it is doing well with the critics.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, The
all
Crossing, guys. What will we give The Crossing? Let's just how about like a 68?
I'm gonna give it a slightly stronger opening.
I'm gonna give it slightly stronger to 72.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it
All
like a
right.
low
I'm good with
C.
72.
So tomato.
72?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tomatoed.
Okay,
Blockers.
Blockers, I would say 93.
Damn.
Oh wow, I
It
would
was
have gone
really
with
high.
like
It's
80.
doing well.
87.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah, I'm cool with 87.
87.
Cool with 87.
it's a comedy, and it's not meant to be taken seriously. And I don't feel like this is like a mid-budget, not a like a big company film. So I can't give it that. I don't think.
What
it
did
should
you
be
say?
set that
80,
high.
87?
87?
87.
You
Oh,
wanna
how
go
about an
lower?
85?
85. 84.
84.
I'll go with 84.
84. All right.
84.
So
So
tomatoed. And A Quiet Place.
Oh,
10,000.
94.
Yeah.
95.
Over
Two.
9,000.
96.
Too
high?
Higher.
98.
98.
I'm gonna say higher.
In a reality,
100.
100. I already said that.
Okay.
Certified fresh.
certified
Tomato.
extra fresh.
Golden tomato.
Certified so fresh, it's green. Green tomato.
It's been reincarnated to a new
Green
tomato.
tomatoed.
Okay.
No, what really?
99.
99.
98.
I'm thinking 90.
I'm
like lowballing.
I
this
feel
time.
like Dylan's cheating because he knows.
I'm cheating.
But 98. That's fine. I'm fine with 98.
I'm going 99. What are you guys going?
Okay,
I'm good with
fine.
98.
You cheater.
Fine, 99 is
99.
fine.
All
I just
right.
wanna be
I forced
right.
you guys into it. It's actually sitting at 100% right now.
Holy
It's
shit.
doing very, very well. But I'm okay with 99 because Rotten Tomato scores tend to drop over
It'll
time.
drop. It'll
Then
drop.
I called Golden Tomato.
What?
Yes,
The
you did,
98
yes.
should definitely be.
I'm so excited. I just.
Oh my God.
I
It's
love
a
it.
very
Must
unique
be
take.
good.
Yeah, I read a review about it that it said it's just an excellently paced horror film, that it's built really beautifully.
It's a real
that
horror
the
film.
building of the tension of everything is just made
There's a shadow.
perfect.
I didn't see that before.
I did.
I didn't
Oh.
either. Holy shit.
Really? You
Wait,
didn't
what?
see
I
that?
I didn't see it. No.
That's
I'm not observant.
God.
Wow, that
This
is
movie's
amazing.
gonna scare the shit out of you, or not at all, because
Or
you
not.
don't notice any of the
Yeah,
jumps.
you're
It's like
gonna
a
be oblivious the whole time.
raggedy
Just like
sleeve.
I don't know why they're
noticing.
running.
Why are they
Well,
scared?
they're very sort of strange,
It'll be a
like
Peter moment.
long-fingered creatures that seem to be able to like crawl on walls too. And there's never they don't show them.
Very
I've
odd-powered.
seen
Very
all of the
Slender
trailers of
Man-esque.
this.
Very-
Okay.
Okay.
Very Slender Man.
It reminds me of
It's
the
yeah, they
end.
don't
Alright.
give you a lot of like stuff in the trailer of what they look like,
No,
but yeah,
they don't
it's sort
give
of
you
like
much at
I was
all.
like either sort of Slender Man or like alien spider thing.
I was reading an article, I think in Entertainment, and Emily Blunt was talking about how they made it a point that they needed an actor that is deaf to play this. And so the little girl in this movie is the only
Yeah.
actually deaf person. And apparently they learned a lot from her.
And I think that's actually in the film that one of their children is deaf.
Okay, I see.
I think
So
she
she's a
is
player.
For
deaf.
she's used
Got
to
it,
that
got it.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's
Interesting.
that's crazy to me because that doesn't deafness means that you can't hear it, not that you can't generate it.
Sure. Yeah.
Which
But for the
means
most
that
part-
you'd think that would be
A
harder because they
harder.
can't tell if they knock something over that it causes a noise, and if she's born deaf, then she has no
idea.
way of knowing
Well,
what is keeping her alive or not.
Compounding the vulnerability, especially for that being a parent's worst nightmare, just really sounds like
Yeah.
a very tense kind of trope to throw in there. you
Well,
know,
yes,
as
well,
a
there's
device
that,
to-
and the whole like I'm going to have a baby.
Yeah.
First of all, labor not good. It's gonna be very hard to get through without making a noise. And then also, babies can't be told to just be quiet.
Yeah.
They're gonna cry.
Yeah,
That
they
baby, if
can.
that baby's
As like
not
the
crying when it
second
comes out,
that
there's something
baby
wrong.
is born, you
Yeah.
are both dead. Like this
Right.
is a death
If
sentence.
that baby does not make sound, there's something wrong with that baby.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
touch upon that in The Walking Dead a lot.
Yeah, and
you
so
know.
there's something
you-
about this
Did you ever
that
see the
seems like
anime,
it's
Gangsta?
like that's
Yeah.
part of
Speaking
the
of deaf characters.
the sort of impending doom is they sort of know how fatalistic it is to even try to have a family to have this child. Not that there's a huge amount of options it looks like, but
It's
It's gonna be a great
It's
film.
a very good idea for a
Yeah.
film,
Yeah,
and
it's
critics are liking it. So, anyways, what else is coming out this week? Some other things that we won't assign scores to.
Oh my.
Jess, you want to take that first one?
Six Balloons is a movie with Abby Jacobson from
We just talked about
Broad City and Dave Franco, and it is basically a story about their brother and sister, and she finds out that her brother has relapsed with a heroin addiction, I believe, and so
Okay.
it's her coming in and trying to help him, and so. Well, it looks very promising to me.
Yeah, I watched.
I'm looking forward to
I
that.
kind of watched the trailer. I was like skipping through this trailer, and it's very solemn. It's interesting to see Abby Jacobson in this
In a
type of
serious role, yeah.
And
Well,
it seems to
you
be
know,
a lot about the road trip there, wherever
Oh,
they're
okay.
going.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it doesn't have. Do you think it has any element of comedy in it? Because they're both really good at being
I
funny.
don't think so. The trailer seemed serious, so
It's very serious poster.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hint
But
of
you know,
comedy.
this isn't the first time we've seen
Interesting.
comedians or generally
Yeah.
Try to
comedy-based
do
actors
serious
trying to
things.
do serious things, and they tend to do pretty well.
Great.
Well, immediately it made me think of 6 balloons of heroin. And I was just like, oh,
That's
pretty dark.
Oh, that's actually.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about heroin, so.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That shows
That
how
is-
little I know about heroin. Okay.
Do you put the
It makes
balloons
sense
like
now.
up your butt?
No, it was just
No.
the way that they use it for You know what?
You know, we'll talk about that later. That's
But,
a whole,
That's
that's a
a
whole
Yeah,
Sicario
I'm not going
episode,
to.
guys.
Yeah. This
Tell
is-
me in detail how I take the heroin.
the heroines.
Yes. Because
You
you're
see,
gonna
it's like a
take it.
bagpipe where you just.
Guy who doesn't even drink alcohol, you're not gonna do heroin.
That's a-
I'm going straight to the hard
Be
stuff.
real.
Just oh my gosh.
What else is
Okay.
coming out this week?
Next up is The Last OG. This is a first role that what is this? I forgot his name.
Tracy Jordan.
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan is a lead-in since the last 15 years or so.
He's been like out of the
He's been
picture
out of the game.
because of
Yeah.
things that happened to him, right?
Yes.
Didn't he go to jail?
He's fucked up
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It was just like I have worked on a project or two with Tracy Morgan. It was in the midst of his
Everything being a disaster moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. I went to a club where I was.
You saw 6 balloons.
I'm sorry. Yes, I
heroin.
worked on I
Heroin.
worked on The Longest Yard when that came out. Shortly after I moved here, after
Okay.
graduating college, I was Adam Sandler's photo double because I'm an inch taller than he is. They would cut my hair to his specifications, and they'd put me in the white prison jumpsuit. So if you see The Longest Yard and it's a scene that he's in, it's not his face close up. That's me. But yeah, but we went to some club. I forgot what it was called. It's been 15 goddamn years. But Tracy Morgan got he was shirtless, pants, doing the like laying down on his side and just doing the running around like Curly from the Three Stooges.
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no,
That's
it
one hell of a
was
party.
wild shit, and
Okay.
yeah, it.
I mean, he's funny. I think he's
Oh,
funny.
yeah,
has
this
promise.
is not to detract in any way
Yeah.
from the fact that
No,
dude
no,
is a
yeah.
fucking gifted performer.
He's hilarious.
I
Yeah.
forgot about him.
It'll be
And a
interesting.
Really nice guy. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, really nice dude. I'm just saying, these were during wild times.
And he's
That's all that
changed
it was.
now. Yeah.
But yeah, but I really respect the shit out
Hey
of
guys,
everything
remember
dude
when
does.
Robert Downey Jr. was like real
The fucking
drug
biggest.
addict?
Yeah.
Yeah, and ended
Everywhere.
up
Now
going
he's
to
Iron
like
Man,
He was in
so-
prison.
county.
Yeah.
He ended up going to fucking county,
County
and
jail.
Yeah.
apparently didn't have a really good time in there.
Yeah. And then he came out and he was clean.
Yeah.
Like, he
So-
was
Oh,
extra
yeah.
clean.
So people can make a comeback at any time.
I want to say I
saw the
love this
trailer for this.
poster.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
poster.
a great
I
poster.
saw the trailer for this and I laughed my ass off.
Okay.
Particularly with him trying to talk the young dudes into, it
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
like, I was
Yeah.
just like you.
And just a little bit about what the storyline is like he gets out of prison after 15 years and he goes back to his old hood and things have changed. So it's him
The
trying to deal with
last
that.
OG. That's good, like the Last Samurai.
OG. Yeah.
That's great.
And it's
It's
created
really
by
good.
Jordan Peele
Yep.
and
What?
John Carcieri. I can't say. I don't know who
this
that is.
It's going to be good.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in because you said Jordan Peele.
It's gonna be.
I'll
It's gonna
watch
be good.
Anything that he does. All right.
And The Child in Time.
Oh yes, yeah. It's going to be actually showing on Masterpiece Theater on PBS.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it says Masterpiece on PBS to co-produce The Child in Time starring Benedict Cumberbatch, as though you could not tell from his big old face right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
he looks like a baby face
brunch.
there, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Exactly.
it's apparently going to be
Wimbledon
Fucking name
Cumberbund.
generator. I love that name generator.
So good.
It's so good. It's the
so
best thing.
what it says here is that it's adapted by Stephen Butchard from Ian McEwan's Whitbread Prize-winning novel. It seriously looks right here like it says it's the Whitebread Prize winner. Whitbread.
So Ian McEwan did.
Okay.
Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
You received
no,
the
not
Wonder
Pride and
Bread
Prejudice.
Prize
Yes.
for being the
It says
whitest
that,
show.
The whitest show
Julian
possible to
Farino,
release.
who also directed The Newsroom and Entourage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Child in
I'm
Time.
in.
Yeah.
Lyrical and heartbreaking exploration of love, loss, and the power of things unseen. So it's Studio Canal that has done a whole bunch
Some
of
wonderful projects.
drama. Yeah.
It's based off of a book by Ian McEwan who wrote Atonement. I knew he
Oh,
did
wow.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
I love me
Okay.
some Atonement.
So it's
All
definitely
right.
going to have the
Yeah.
vibe of Entourage more than anything else, right,
Yeah,
guys?
and probably Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
I love her. Okay. Where do I know Kelly MacDonald from? She's not the new Doctor Who, is she? No.
No.
That's
Oh, no, she was Diane in Trainspotting.
that's
Yeah,
how I recognize
and
her.
Diane in T2 Trainspotting.
Yep.
I didn't watch T2.
You know, it's funny because she still plays the same character.
Okay, right.
Yeah, the the
I'm, like,
basically
very-
the school girl that kind of rooks Ewan McGregor's character into doing things, and then only to find out that she is not even close to legal. Yeah,
Yeah.
She is actually like
The 15-year-old?
She actually is like the only non-fuck up in the movie, which is kind of great. She's the one who like
She got
is
it out of her
actu-
system.
Yeah, she was like an attorney. She was actually successful, responsible human being, while the rest of them were just fucking their lives up and the lives of everyone else up around them. And it was just like really kind of neat to see where it was like,
Sounds
yeah,
right.
she got on the right path.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be like T3.
Yes. Oh,
By
so
that I
much
mean
heroin.
Terminator.
This is
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is where she makes her fuck up.
Yeah. Turns out, Child in Time, 6 balloons too, 7 balloons.
7 balloons.
7
So
balloons.
stay tuned for those. Those are all TV.
The first OG.
Wait, is the Child in Time like a miniseries or a
Looks
BBC
like a
movie
miniseries.
or?
I think it's a miniseries.
Yeah, it says that it's
It's the
going to
BBC.
be in their first television commission. So it does. Yeah, it's a 90-minute drama.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be produced through WGBH Boston.
Okay.
Specifically, which is kind of curious,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, PBS Masterpiece, they do the goods. So yeah, this definitely seems like it's going to be an interesting one.
Very cool.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I like
So
it.
stay tuned for those. Up next, what do we got? What are you watching this week? So, pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
What are you guys watching? Who wants to start? You want to? You want to start, Eve?
Sure. Yes, I watched Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman, which was awesome.
It
Yep.
was.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
Amazing,
really great.
though.
It's also very sexy. Like
Yep.
I expected it to be, but it was way sexier
Like,
than I expected
actually
it to
sexy,
be.
yeah.
And then so it gets you in the groin and then it punches you with the feels at
Yep.
the end. You're just like, "Oh fuck. Oh god."
Yep. Because if you know the story of William Moulton Marston, it's an interesting,
Yeah.
very
it doesn't
different
end
kind
well.
of lifestyle.
Hashtag horny and crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad masturbation.
It's
Really
the
good.
it's the
Masturbation.
movie equivalent of being on your period. It
wow.
is fantastic.
I don't know
it's
if I can
so
handle
good.
that.
How true to life is
So-
this?
I would say it was not far off the mark.
I think
honestly,
a lot
for
of
the
it,
way
but
that
a lot
went.
of it had to be pretty fictionalized.
Yeah,
with
they
the
had-
interactions.
It's a hard.
They had
Yeah.
to
It's
dramatize
a hard thing to try
a
to.
lot of it just
Okay.
because.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is, I mean, even nowadays, this is still kind of outre, you know.
Yeah.
So for
I mean-
back then, this was like unthinkable shit.
Yeah,
that
I'm
went
like-
on.
watching this
Oh my
going
gosh.
like, this is legitimately like what I want my life to be, kind
Yeah.
of. Like I'm pretty certain that
You wanna
this
be
is what I
Marston?
want in my.
There is. Oh my gosh.
Well, because the themes of human sexuality and relationships and all of the way that they and you see the ropes that are being held there. Yeah,
that's the other thing. If you're not into like bondage, don't worry. It's not a huge factor.
I did not know that was going to be any part of this.
Okay, so how
It's like the
familiar
beginning of
are
Wonder
you
Woman.
with old school Wonder Woman?
Okay, yeah, I know.
Sensationalist comics.
Yeah, and you know how
man.
those things were originally
Old
called the
school.
bracelets of submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
so
into
all of the
BDSM shit.
bondage, all of the there's a lot of bondage in old school Wonder
They
Woman.
really screwed up the new Wonder
Loving
Woman.
domination.
When they brought her back, when it was
As long
when
as
it was
there's a
no
porno,
longer
it's fine.
sensationalist, and when they brought her back later, it was less like those themes were not as it doesn't happen as often.
This is
'Cause he
originally when
wasn't-
this
But
started,
it was
it's
like
very different.
it was overt. It's like
Yeah.
you look at some of those panels and you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
are we sure
it
this
really
isn't
got
actually
into it.
porn though?
It was a lot of those black and white like
Erotica.
apartment wrestling kind of things.
Yeah.
back in the day. But
Yeah.
And also,
And one of her things was that if she is tied up, she loses all of her powers.
Yeah.
specifically by a duder.
Yeah, this is a lot of like BDSM culture and
Yeah.
a lot of very alternative culture
Yes.
and lifestyle that is fantastic. And it,
Yes,
the film is
and
great.
so it's essentially about this professor and his wife who they won't give her a PhD, even though she's smart enough. They just won't do it because she's a lady.
Yeah.
And then their lover Olive.
Yeah.
And sort of the research that they do together, and then like they do a lot of work with the lie
very
detector.
odd, spotlighting with that.
Yeah, it was so interesting to think about all of the things that came out of
Yeah,
just
and then
this group and everything that they
and then they kind of they ran into some scandal as one does.
Always.
Even now with that type of lifestyle, some people so they get fired. And this is sort of what spurs, his wife gets another job. Olive stays home with the kids. They end up having like 5 kids.
It's an amazing family
Like
life.
both the ladies have kids. I was like, what is this? Is amazing.
astonishing,
This
yeah.
is like what a beautiful relationship these people have. They go through stuff. Like I said, it hits you in the feels.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
At the end,
overall, she would not recommend this movie.
Never, ever.
I would recommend it, and I would also recommend watching it with your significant other alone.
Yeah,
because it's sexy.
Or-
It's very sexy.
and
And then
also-
enjoy the time afterward. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Also,
I just
is it not just
It's a
also
win.
appalling
Can we meme that?
how poorly this movie did in theaters?
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I know.
Was it a small release though?
It was extremely
sort
small
of,
release.
but it
Yeah.
utterly fucking tanked.
Yeah.
Like
It had to have
it's-
been well.
I remember
because
just
look
getting,
at
like-
the
It's hard to put that type of material out
Yeah.
in general.
Because when I went to see
like
Wonder
I
Woman,
knew
this
about
was
it,
in
but
the
I
previews.
didn't know about it. Like I honestly thought from watching the trailers, I was like, oh, he's like having an affair with this girl. But then she does say, like I'm your wife, not your jailer, and they deal with the nuances of that so well in the movie that I didn't get from the trailer. And had I known, I would have gone to see it when it was still in theaters.
It was a
'Cause
really
I-
it's a big film.
I'd known the whole story about this for a long time, so I was very interested in seeing which way the themes would go with this, because it was just very interesting and, like I said, beyond scandalous for the time. But it was very forward thinking, very progressive in the way that it looked at sexuality and relationships and themes of trust and family.
Yeah.
In ways that heretofore, I mean, still, like we've said, even nowadays, still kind of out there. Whereas back then would have been like fucking trying to talk to an alien.
Yeah.
Also,
This is
his
a
suit is
completely
dope
tight
in
book
that
to
poster.
human. Yeah.
His suit is always dope. He's so beautiful.
So I should go
He's
watch
so beautiful.
50 Shades
Very
of Grey.
Don't watch that.
Is
No,
what you're
this
saying?
this
No,
would
you watch
be
the whole series of
so
those.
much sexier alternative, honestly.
Yeah.
They're all pretty
And
really
they're
good looking, but he's
distinctly
just-
attractive in very good ways, fantastic ways.
There you go.
I just think it's hilarious.
There's boobs.
with what
It's
it's
great,
next to.
y'all.
Yeah, what did you watch, Bond?
I
What did you watch, Bondage?
I changed it all up here, and I watched the Dangerous Boys. Dangerous Book for Boys.
There you go.
There we go.
What
Which
is
that
this?
doesn't seem like it. You watched the book?
poster looks
I
really
Book of
fun, though.
Dangerous Boys.
Yeah,
It looks really fun.
It's it really this whole thing. It's a tale as classic as ever. Dad dies. Family.
Sorry.
yeah.
I just love that that's a classic.
Yeah.
Classic
I know.
tale.
Classic
Dad
trope.
dies.
Dad dies. Life is falling apart, but the family finds this book that he left them. And it's the Dangerous Book for Boys. And it's about 3 brothers who go on these adventures, but it really focuses on one son who really has this hard problem of trying to get past his dad's death. So this book is all about like all the things he wrote, little tales. They're tidbits that like people don't have as general knowledge anymore. It's like that thing you miss out on since you don't interact with the world, you interact through the internet.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice touchback for our
So the father wrote the
flashback.
book.
Yeah, the father
Got
wrote
it.
the book for the kids.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it's just them going through it along with a lot of different family problems, and it's fantastic. I love
So it's
it.
a TV show.
It's a TV show.
Okay,
yeah.
and
it's
you're having a good time. You like
it's a good time. I
Okay.
like it. I've only watched about 3 episodes.
Am I gonna cry? Because I'm looking for something that's gonna make me cry.
It's not going to be that strong because it's really family
Watch
friendly.
Professor Marston.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna make me
cry.
cry?
It will make you
It'll
cry.
make you
It'll make you
sad.
cry at the
I'm
end.
actively
It doesn't
looking
end like
for a suggestion.
devastatingly. It's not. You're not going to end the movie and be like, oh fuck no.
But it ends
But
on a
you'll
wistful
cry.
note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll watch The Dangerous Boys and then I'll jump over to Professor
Yeah,
Marston.
watch both of
one
those.
then the
That
other.
Get me revved up.
Yeah, can I watch Wonder Woman and Dangerous Boys?
Yes.
Hey,
Together.
Just
Ooh.
together. Just
All
some
right.
really weird 2-for-1 specials.
Next slide.
Who else
please.
is watching what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually, based off of the recommendation of a listicle that I saw on YouTube, happened to have the curious fortune of watching Felidae. It was a German animated film from 1994, and it is incredibly strange.
True thriller.
It's because it's a murder mystery,
Yeah.
as told through the eyes of talking cats.
Okay.
And
Sounds awesome.
There, it is
Sounds amazing,
incredibly violent and gory, and there is pretty graphic cat sex in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of nightmarish imagery as well.
Guys,
yeah.
cats have violent sex. Have
Let's
you ever heard
put it
cats
this
have
way.
sex? Yeah. It's violent. It's always
Did you?
violent.
Would you not say that there are also lovingly rendered cat buttholes in this thing? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
guys,
It's so
I love
strange
cat
to see
buttholes.
because usually they do not really put forth the animal attributes, but they are rendered in this film. And
Somebody
there's-
had to draw that.
yeah, and there's
Studied some
Somebody
references.
studied
Yeah,
some
some
buttholes,
time
yeah.
on it.
cat
So
buttholes.
it's that, and
straight up
there's,
time on
there
it.
are it's deep and dark and disturbing because it also goes into like vivisection and animal and
Okay.
experimenting on live animals where they're strapped down by the head and body and stuff and it's very frank in its depiction of like animal abuse and shit. So it's a hard watch. It's a very hard watch,
Honestly,
Oh, man.
the poster. When I saw the poster and you told me
looks
that
like
you watched this,
Aristocats.
I thought I was gonna go watch
but it
Aristocats.
looks
Yeah.
like it was going to be jaunty, right?
Yes.
Like it's like, hey, good shit.
Yeah,
No,
that's
bad
absolutely-
shit. Lots of bad shit going on, but it's not an easy watch. Like I said, it was just it's interesting getting from the beginning to the end and finding out like inside of this house, that there are the inhabited like basically ghosts. Would you say that that's what it was? Yeah,
Odd.
the ghosts of animals that basically had been butchered. In the
Oh,
in
wow.
the name of medical science, and yeah, it goes deep into shit that you never really see depicted or discussed,
Of course.
especially from the view of the animals.
Yeah.
Trying to comprehend exactly what's been done to them. But yeah, anyway, it's something that I will absolutely say is not for everybody to watch.
Not for children.
So you'd recommend
is-
it to certain people.
So-
Yes,
Are the vegans going to be okay watching it?
you will. It will probably make you very mad and sad, if
Okay.
not being outright vomit
Would it make me
inducing.
mad enough to make a German cartoon about cats?
I just want someone who's German to actually say Der Katzenthriller.
This is
Katzenthriller.
Of course, it's a German film, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at German cinematography, this is just right up their alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is
Right up
it
their
is
alley,
beautiful.
cat.
And
because as
Get Out.
But yeah, so it was also the fact that it was beautifully animated. It's funny though because it was something that was relatively modern, but it still looks like it would have been like a later 70s Ralph Bakshi-esque kind of animation. And it's really good. But again, this was something from a country where they didn't pour. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry. I'm totally wrong. They put more money into this at that point than any other animated feature in German
Wow.
cinema history.
Wow.
Like, they seriously put, like, millions of Deutschmarks
Wow.
into this
Yeah.
to make it. And, yeah, it was cool, but it's like, any of you see The Secret of Nim?
Why?
Yes, love the secret.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those where it's
They're like cats.
similarly fucked up, but a bit
It's the
more
Pixar.
a bit more so. Yeah.
Okay,
But and
I'm
also gut churning But it's something that is it's worth a watch because you kind of want to see frank depictions of things that make you uncomfortable.
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's it. I would
So
I
very
say
Into the Void type movie.
Yeah, I would partially recommend it to people that are not so easily upset. Definitely not to youngsters. This would not be that sort of thing, and
It'd be rated NA here.
Yeah, you have to have a possibly beyond that because it was like seriously like guts ripped out and decapitations. And,
Okay.
Yeah, look, it's like if you'd seen Watership
handle that.
Down and were kind of depressed because of Bunny's inhumanity to Bunny and that shit. Like this is much worse than that. Just so be forewarned. Otherwise, it is an educational experience watching Felidae.
So movie night is that's happening next? Yeah.
We will all be sad, and let's not be drunk watching it. But yes, absolutely.
So we'll watch it in the middle of the day, in the middle of while a picnic is happening. It'll be
They
great.
should have, like,
Let's bring kids.
comfort
Let's bring
food.
kids.
Yeah.
Comfort food. Okay.
All right, so yeah, Jess is right. Comfort food of television would be returning the favor, I believe, right now. So this is
Good
a
segue.
Facebook original. Thank you. I said it and I realized she was talking about something else. I was like, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. But I ruined it.
If it's
Yeah, I ruined it by talking about it. We talked about this on Screen Source a while ago, actually. It was about Facebook opening up their watch page. So it's their original television. If you guys have like the newest update for a Facebook app, it's the second app. It's the second tab over on the top, at least for Android. And they have Facebook original programming. Some of it comedy, some of it things like this, Returning the Favor with Mike Rowe. I've been meaning to watch this because the first episode takes place in Albuquerque, which I live at now.
Oh,
we all
yeah,
live
I
at
heard
now.
about this. Okay,
Mike Rowe is one of my personal heroes. He did a show for a
Look up
long
to him.
time called Dirty Jobs. I want to read the intro to that show. My name is Mike Rowe, and this is my job. I explore the country looking for people who aren't afraid to get dirty, hardworking men and women who earn an honest living doing the kinds of jobs that make that makes civilized life possible for the rest of us. Now get ready to get dirty. This show has a similar mantra to it in that he keeps bringing up this word. He's going out looking for people who are slightly better than the rest of us. People that are doing very good deeds for
do-gooders.
Morally,
do-gooders.
yeah,
He
do-gooders.
calls them do-gooders.
Bloody do-gooders.
Bloody do-gooders that basically
Those with
do
moral fiber.
good
How
things
dare
for
they.
the world without asking for anything in return. And so he is doing this for them. The first episode, for instance, takes place in Albuquerque of a 14-year-old boy. Is that his age? And his
formerly
mother,
homeless.
formerly homeless, both of them.
Him and his mother.
Him and his mother. I don't know what happened to the father, but then anyways, they're both on the streets. They realize that they need things like certain amenities, like soap. And the mother ends up teaching the boy how to make soap. They end up getting off the streets. They live in like a little apartment now. And this kid continues to make soap for the homeless.
Yeah.
All like, I don't know if it's every
drops
day.
off like thousands of soaps.
And he sells his other soaps on
bars.
Etsy.
Yeah.
And he has a little Etsy store. And anyways, so Mike Rowe goes and surprises him and gives him an entire studio to make soap out of. He has a whole soap making kitchen.
Which is great
Store.
because there's so much
store.
property here no one's using anyways.
And so this kid can still continue to make more, hopefully, soap for the homeless. That's just one episode. They're around 20 minutes apiece. Every single one of them, you're going to want to cry.
Great.
It's the kind of show that like I need in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you-
It's like
when you need to
Queer
find
Eye.
good role
It's like
models.
the newest version
Yeah.
of Queer Eye,
Yeah.
where you're just like every episode, you're just like, oh, I don't hate humanity.
Yeah,
I
and
love
Queer
it.
Eye is great. I will say I like this show more though. I mean, it's Mike Rowe. I can't. It's hard to do much
He's
better.
just so damn charismatic.
He's so
he's so
good.
great.
Such a good man. Yeah, and he's such a great voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's
something about him. I don't know. I have a thing for him.
How could you not? How could you
I
not?
don't know why.
It's
Just have a
impossible
thing
not
for
to.
him.
Anyways,
Yeah.
lots of amazing things. A lot of stuff that they do for vets, veterans. There's a lot of stuff that they do for
Veterinarians.
veterinarians. Yes, yes. They're all over the place. So long as they start with VET.
Yeah.
Please take the time to watch it. It's a
Yeah.
really, really good show.
It's really great, and it won't take much of your time.
Yeah. What are you watching, Jess?
I'm watching Luke Cage.
Oh,
my
yeah.
It's
God.
magic.
Una
stuff.
serie originale de
Guys,
Netflix.
I can't tell you how happy I am about this show. It's so good. It's so good. I think it's my favorite so far in terms of like all the Marvel shows
Netflix.
on
Okay.
Netflix. I really love Jessica Jones, but I think this is better. Unfortunately, I have to say I love this so much.
I'm surprised because it's like I feel like they've been losing their luster lately with the series on Netflix, and it's just like I like what they're doing, but I'm happy to see that like Luke Cage is doing really well.
It's so
Can you
great.
guys remind me the order? It's Daredevil,
Yeah.
Jessica Jones,
Yep.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Well, I think that it's going to be Daredevil season 2
Okay.
for that
okay.
one, and then
Okay, Iron Fist and then Defenders?
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
the order? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do I need
So,
to
yeah.
watch them all in that order?
It's a coherent-ish timeline.
Okay.
The way
Yeah.
that those go, but each one has their own contained story arcs.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, and then of course they all kind of tend to figure into their own shit as it gets further along.
You can watch
Although-
Defenders by itself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you don't have to watch Iron Fist.
Good, 'cause
No
I
one likes it.
skipped that
Yeah.
because I heard it was terrible.
I did remember though when I was living in LA when Luke Cage came out, hearing that it broke Netflix, and I was just like, ooh, that's cool. Also, just that the fucking old dirty bastard shimmy shimmy ya
Yeah.
trailer
shimmy,
that
ya,
they
shimmy,
had for
yeah,
that when
shimmy,
it was coming. Yeah, and it was just watching it, like bullets just hitting him and bouncing off, and it was just like, oh, this is
Love
gonna
it.
be some shit.
And during that actual scene, there's a Wu-Tang song that's
Yeah.
playing, and it's so badass. And I'm just like, yeah.
The music is
He's
phenomenal.
just kicking people's asses,
well,
bending their hand back and like breaking their
Yep.
bones.
Oh,
Oh my god,
so
they
he's
said
the greatest.
that that for certain quarters of humanity, bulletproof black guy is like the scariest thought ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. As it should.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it was I remember when the show came out and there are articles talking about like hey, it's about time we have a bulletproof black person because this is the
this is
exact
the-
opposite of what's happening in society right now.
So we just had a literal guy just get shoot
guys.
6 times, 7 times in the back. Each shot should have been a death shot for him.
He's just
Yeah.
and the actors are great. The music is unbelievably
and
great.
Mike
Yeah.
Colton is so good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
Purely badass.
There-
Yeah.
and there's a lot of actors in there that I was like, oh, I love
I
that
know
guy.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I love that lady.
When's the last time I
oh
saw
my God,
them?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Who would not want to be involved in something like this?
So good.
So speaking of Marvel Netflix series,
Hey!
So tell us a little bit about last
That's a
week's
good
required viewing.
picture. I like
Okay,
that
so last week's required viewing, it varied a little bit. As I mentioned before, if depending on availability, we could have done the first episode or the first 6 episodes of Jessica Jones. Now, watching that all the way over, because I've had involvement in my life with people who suffer from PTSD and people who've suffered, abuse and survivor's guilt and a lot of different problems like that in their lives, and it's disorienting at first to watch this stuff and to see the things that she goes through, and just for anybody who's any sort of call a spade. It is the story of a rape survivor,
Yeah.
and with a lot of things, like I mentioned before, what I was so interested about with the New Mutants film is it's
Very interesting
It's
timeline, what they do
extra
with that.
terrifying when it's like, this is a person who is not helpless. This is somebody who has their own,
They have powers.
methods,
Yeah.
and gifts and things to defend themselves. But what do you do when it's not enough? You know, and how do you overcome that? And just for and you also get to see the plight of other people who suffer terribly, because it has themes of addiction, it has themes of alcoholism,
Yeah.
it has themes of cyclical abuse and just the keeping of secrets and all sorts of horrible things that go on. But ultimately, that was one of the most it was another one that was kind of a gut-wrenching yet rewarding watch.
Yeah.
I absolutely adored it. Kristen Ritter, fantastic. As you
great.
see right there, David Tennant, holy shit, what a fucking creep.
Oh, God,
it was
he's
just
a
like, but
monster.
he's so, and he's really
Such a
charming
disgusting monster.
as
Yeah.
just such a horrible scumbag.
Yep.
Also, in that, I did not notice that his ear is at a 45-degree tilt.
I've never noticed that in my life.
I
What
never
the
noticed
heck?
that. It looks
That
like
is weird.
it's like a gear half wound.
Yeah. That is-
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of low.
Hey, they CGI'd that.
I
in.
can't
Yeah.
unsee that now.
And
I'm gonna watch that for everything.
And actually, this poster, spoiler alert, could also be for the second season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because the story isn't over. Well, we're I didn't know how far we were going to venture into spoilers territory here, but anyway, it doesn't come to quite the resolution anyway in the
Yeah.
first 6 or first
Right.
First quarter or first.
Yeah, or first episode.
Yeah,
Period.
I only watched the first 2. I imagine all of you are way ahead of me.
I'm done.
Yeah,
yeah. I'd seen it all the way through before, but with recent experiences with other people in my life who'd had
it's a refreshed
times.
experience.
Yeah. Coming back to it, it was just like seeing the coping mechanisms, and just the way that people basically have to be able to deal with trauma to continue surviving was insane. And it was just really interesting to see the characters, because I mean, you see Luke Cage from episode 1,
right?
Where he comes in, and it's just, you don't really know who he is at that point.
It's just a very odd stalking sequence.
Yeah, and it's crazy. But let's see, because they don't even show Kilgrave in the first episode.
They don't.
Like, it's not till a couple, because they'll show the back of his head.
He comes in the second episode.
No Midnight Nurse, none of that.
He comes in the second episode and he shoves the family, or the 2 kids at least, into a closet.
Yeah.
And he basically takes over a household.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's pretty gnarly, because that girl's like, I had to pee, and then
he was just like, go in the
She just
closet,
did.
you'll be fine. And it was just like, and then you just see
the
it
urine
coming out from
seeping
underneath
out.
the door, and I was like,
so cold, man.
I want to say that, like, for the again, I only watched the first 2. I thought it was the first episode I really liked. I thought it was interesting how they're kind of going about everything. It's all kind of mysterious. You don't really know who's doing what.
Right.
It's
what
all
she's
dealt with the past
experienced.
tense.
Yeah. And then she's like spying on Luke Cage, and you don't know why necessarily.
Right.
She ends up fucking him.
Yep. That's real quick.
Yeah, honestly, I was
It's
watching.
just
I was
like
like,
a-
"Whoa, this is Marvel." Like, I haven't seen this.
Yeah,
I haven't
'cause there
really seen
was-
this.
They jumped in it.
There was a lot of fucking in this. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and it was especially for.
It made me proud, because that's a relationship in general. Like, that's how they were.
Well, yeah.
Like,
And also, like, I think Eve, you pointed this out like a couple weeks ago, that it's showing that these superheroes, like, they're superheroes, but they are human too, and they have problems just like anybody else. And it's not just, they're not perfect. Like, I love that about it.
Not above it all.
It's the only other one I've seen a little bit of Luke Cage now, a little bit of Jessica Jones season 2, but what I've noticed that they're all very dark themed. They're also visually dark. There's
It's just very New York, very
it's
grungy.
the opposite of the Marvel films, is what I'm realizing, because the films have a lot of color, a lot of the fights and everything's in daylight.
Broader
This
scope.
is the opposite.
They have to transition somehow, and I think
And
that's what they do.
I kind of like that they're doing that. I do wish there was a little bit of differentiation between each of the
world.
series.
Hell's Kitchen is filmed that way.
Got it. Okay, right,
Yeah.
because it all kind of
she's
takes
in Hell's
place.
This is all
Kitchen,
in Hell's
and
Kitchen.
so's Murdoch.
Yep.
And if you watch Daredevil, it's the same thing.
Yep.
I still
Hell's Kitchen exists in a very clear world that both films
very
or
distinct
both
world.
the shows are they exist in the same world.
Yeah.
Because Luke Cage is a little bit more colorful, I'd say.
Luke
but it's
Cage
Harlem,
lives in Harlem.
Yep.
which
Okay.
is more colorful.
Yeah.
Like, the big thing about this too is that, like, it's so funny, because, like, if you go to the actual place, Hell's Kitchen is very small.
Yeah,
And
it's like 10
apparently
blocks.
it's
Yeah,
not
it's a
like-
small
literally
area.
like 10
And apparently
blocks.
it's really
like a really
ritzy.
nice neighborhood now.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
not
now.
dirty
Well,
at all.
it's Clinton now. It hasn't been
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen in a
In a
long
long
time.
time.
Yeah, it's very upscale, so they just kind of had to shoot different spots to make it look like
it's so
Hell's
awkward.
Kitchen it was.
Yeah, going to that part of, like, what would have been Hell's Kitchen, now you're just like, what is this? What am
Yeah.
I? It's been so gentrified now
Yeah.
that it's just a whole different world.
Yeah, it's a different kind of gangster that runs things there.
Yeah.
Hey,
The dandy.
and also you also kind of learn to dread the flashes of purple light while watching this.
Oh yeah.
All right. Bon, do you have something that you'd like us to watch for next week?
I do, and it's
What
one of
is
these
it?
films I love a lot, and it is I'm gonna pull it up right here.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, and we can watch it on Amazon.
And it's going to be on
Also.
Amazon Prime. And I tried to choose a film that was on Amazon Prime,
Sweet.
so
Thank
that
you.
way we could
That way we don't
grab
have
it
to spend
immediately.
the money on
Yeah.
it.
It's The Man
Anytime
from
now.
Nowhere.
All right.
Yeah.
The Man from Nowhere.
Man from Nowhere. It's a great little film about a guy who is just running this small little camera shop until shit goes wrong with his neighbor's daughter, or his neighbor in general. And he goes on a crazy chase to get the daughter that he has grown attached to.
Okay.
Not his daughter.
I don't
It's
know
Korean,
anything
isn't
about
it?
this.
Huh? Yes, it's
Yeah,
Korean
okay,
film.
I've seen it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, I have seen this.
Already,
I
Yes.
have seen this. I
and it's
forgot
dope.
about it.
and it's
Yeah.
a great film.
Really
Yeah,
good.
It's
badass.
yeah, it's very action packed.
It's one of the films that I want to have a remake of in America that I feel they could do justice because they
Yeah.
couldn't do Old Boy, but I think they could do this.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
Did
rolling.
you watch? I can't remember if you watched this.
I don't
Maybe
remember
not.
if I watched it or not.
Yeah.
I
love
s-
Korean films. They're
Don't
so
love
good.
Korean
It's
films.
so
so
good.
I,
Very much
I'm
so.
along for the ride.
I'm
Usually.
gonna bring that Asian flavor every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
because
No,
I
you
feel
gots
like it's
to.
gotta add that in.
I'm gonna make you guys watch Joy Luck Club in a while. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
The other Korean film that really struck
Chinese,
straight
not
through
Korean.
to the heart of me was I Saw the Devil.
I've
I
been
haven't
wanting to
seen that yet.
watch
I've been
that.
wanting to
Haven't
watch
seen
too.
that one
I
yet?
have not.
It's very
The
very
poster's
disturbing.
awesome.
Yeah, very very disturbing. Like it borders between like revenge film and torture porn. Like for
Wonderful.
yeah, with
Oh my
with
gosh.
with Dexter-esque themes as well.
Cool.
So it's gritty. It is gritty and grimy.
Definitely
Cool.
gonna check that out.
But yeah.
Korean films are usually very gritty and grimy.
Oh yeah, because
have to say.
I would not throw that one into the required viewing ring,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just as a favor to yourself, I would say see it. But it's messed up, just so you know.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
I'm okay
All
with that. All right. Make sure to watch that, and then we'll talk about it
But
next
the
week.
Man
Oh,
from
yeah.
Nowhere, yeah,
Great film.
Oh, so
Such a great
good.
film.
I'm gonna watch it again.
All right, let's play a little game here now called Last Adam Sandler Movie Standing. I did this one for Eve.
Last
Like,
Adam
I don't watch
Sandler.
Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, who here
guy
watches or has watched these movies?
I've watched.
Yep.
I kind of grew up with the
I've
guy.
seen
Okay.
all but one.
Good.
Yeah.
The only one I didn't see was Punch Drunk Love.
What did you
Which
not
is
see?
the only
I
good
did
one.
not see Big Daddy.
Did not see
Well,
Big
have
Daddy.
you seen Reign Over Me with Don Cheadle?
Oh, I should have put that in
So
there.
good.
Damn it!
So good.
I should have replaced
It's
that
a
with Big Daddy.
serious movie.
I liked Punch Drunk Love.
You would like.
Oh,
You guys would all
really-
like Reign
yeah,
Over Me.
That one was.
Okay.
Honestly, I love all these movies. I think they're
Yeah.
so good.
I never saw his serious work.
Yeah, he has good serious
doesn't
work.
exist.
Obviously,
Punch Drunk
his
Love
Oh
is
early
yeah,
comedy
Punch
is
Drunk
great.
Love is lovely.
Yep.
Okay.
So essentially, we're going to go down the line, and we are going to figure out what the last Adam Sandler movie standing is, which is thus the best Adam Sandler movie of all time. You heard it here first. Who wants to eliminate first?
I'm gonna.
I
I'm
did
gonna-
last time, so I'll.
Yeah, you're gonna abstain. I'm gonna go with the first this time only
Okay.
because I went last time and
Okay.
I did not like that at all.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
Go for it.
I don't think you should go last though, because you only like one movie and you've been very open about it.
and if that stays on,
Who should go last?
This is the worst. You could.
Let's go this way.
this way.
All
Okay.
So
right.
Jessica
Okay.
chooses last.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can do.
I
Okay.
can do it.
Cool.
All
So
right.
let's
I'm
go
gonna
Bond
choose.
first.
Hopefully.
I am.
What are you eliminating?
I'm taking. Oh man. I'm taking out Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I'm fine with that.
I have good memories of that one, but yeah.
Why would you guys be fine
I
with
get
that?
it.
It's
I get
clearly the best one.
No.
Clearly.
No. So not.
Big
I don't know how I
Daddy.
felt last weekend. You can't.
You're taking out Big Daddy. Okay.
Yes, I'm taking out Big
Okay.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
It's a good movie
choice.
though.
It's a
No.
good
It
movie.
is a good
It's a good movie.
I
I've
do
never
love
seen it, so I can't argue.
It's
Yeah.
it's like a 4. It's like part of that
a lot
scale
of
where
Adam
you're just
Sandler
like.
movies
Yeah,
are very
4.
sexist, and in that way, they're not the greatest. But you know what? Yeah, it's
Big
They
Daddy's
just, I
sexist?
just,
don't
I
remember.
don't think I've enjoyed one.
okay.
And
It just didn't
remember Adam
so
Sandler
long.
films.
It's
Yeah.
the. Do you
Oh.
remember she works at Hooters and then she makes it a big old thing when she finds like a sugar daddy. That's a whole plot line inside.
I don't know why I don't remember that. I just remember Scuba Steve.
Jesus
I love
Christ.
Scuba Steve.
Scuba
All right.
Steve. Okay.
I'm going to narrow it down to make it a little more difficult to make the selection on this one.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of the water boy.
Okay, no, that's okay with me.
Oh.
Honestly.
Oh no, I'm not.
What?
Yeah, well, it's just
The
because
mama
the
said.
last, the last 3, the last 3 are all the best.
Yeah, I'll accept. They're pretty amazing.
No,
I'm
not as good as
Happy
Waterboy.
Gilmore
You
is
know
the
what?
best.
I think I'm with you on that. But I would add Reign Over Me to this.
Fair enough.
So there are 3 more left. There's Billy Madison, The Wedding Singer, and Punch Drunk Love.
Mm-hmm.
I know which one Jessica is going to choose, and it makes my life a little difficult as far as what I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
Because it's do I get rid of the one that actually I think is the weakest of the 3, or the one that I think Jessica's going to choose, so she'll end up choosing mine. You guys don't see, you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh, you are devious.
I know. I don't know which one to do. I'll be an honest person and I'll choose what I think is the weakest of the 3.
I know what you're going to do to me right now, and I'm not happy.
Which is I think Punch Drunk Love is the weakest of the three.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I know what Jessica thought I was going to choose, and I know which one she's going to end up choosing. Yeah, no, I have seen Punch Drunk Love, I think, once or twice. I didn't, and I saw it in my adulthood. The rest of them are like ingrained in my childhood brain. You know what I mean? I can't get rid of like lines from each of those movies, and I've seen them all 100 times. So,
well, duh.
I mean, rules.
Guys, you all know what I'm going to choose. As much as I love Billy Madison, Wedding Singer has a special place in my heart, always will, and I watch it like
speaking
once a
of
year.
Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler,
love me
films.
all some Drew Barrymore movies.
But Doyle
Ever
rules.
After and Never Been Kissed.
Doyle
rules. Wedding Singer. Yep, love her.
So many quotables.
So many quotable movies.
God damn it.
All terrible films, if you think about it, but all quotable films.
God, you know what though? The Wedding Singer is probably
redeeming.
the most redeeming one out of those. I feel like because it's
him being a less shitty person by the end of it.
Yep, exactly. It's a little something for everyone, and he's actually not.
Watch his series films, Punch Drunk Love and Reign Over Me. They are fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, he did it right as far as a comedian moving over into drama.
Yeah. He did a good job.
What's that one line I know from Wedding Singer that I'm always quoting? It's the guy that's singing, and he's like, it's the cross-dresser that ends up singing, and he. What does he say?
Cross-dresser?
What does he say?
This is 1982.
It was a
92.
Boy George.
92. It's not that far off.
I don't know, but
I don't remember it.
Oh man,
I love.
It's
There's so many quotable.
I just remember him
lines.
singing super fucking drunk.
Oh God, when he sings that song, kill me. I want to die.
And I'm a huge John Lovitz fan too, and he's great in this movie. It's not even in that much,
so good.
Anyways, that's the last Adam Sandler movie standing. The best Adam Sandler movie of all time, The Wedding Singer. Thank you, Jessica.
It's the serious film that's just like actually in his wheelhouse. It's the first one that was like put him into stardom. I accept that.
The Wedding Singer is not the first movie that put him into stardom.
For me.
No.
For me.
Sorry, Vaughn.
No.
Yes.
Anyways, let's go on to the next slide, please. Trailers. So we're going to watch just a couple here, and the game here is watch, rent, or skip.
That's safe.
As long as it's fed.
That's a watch for me.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Based off a book.
Could be fun.
Honestly, I just don't feel like I'm the demographic. I feel like this is made for pretty young kids.
Yeah,
that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm a big kid.
I'm gonna watch it.
I would say Rent, but I would go and see it with my nephew.
Yeah. I would say Rent too. I don't.
But it
think I'm
would
gonna
be a
go to
strong
theaters
rent.
for that.
So we're watching.
So we're gonna
That's
go
good.
see it together then,
that's
right?
what's
Okay.
I think I'm on the
Rent.
skip for this one. It honestly also looks like that the most recent the House of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the kids with the powers.
Mrs. Peregrue's or something.
Yeah,
Miss Peregrine's
yeah,
Orphanage
Yeah,
Days.
there you
Home
go.
for
That
Peculiar
thing.
Children.
Home for
Yeah.
Peculiar
That
Children,
one.
yes.
Okay.
Home for Extraordinary
That one
Kids.
looked cool. I didn't watch it, but it looked cool.
It looks like that kind of, no?
It does kind of look like that.
Yeah.
It reminds me more of Lemony Snicket.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I got the same.
But I'm like super into that. I like that as a style and as an aesthetic. So
Did you watch the
bring it up.
Netflix
Mhm.
show?
I heard it's
Was it good?
wonderful. Is it
Yeah.
good?
Okay.
Yes, it's fantastic. I love it. I don't know.
I love Neil
I did
Patrick.
not get into the books very passionately when I was younger, so I am easily pleased. Book readers fall very definitively into they
Yeah.
like it or they do not.
And surprisingly, that's one of the ones that they like. So
Some of them, I've
of them.
met some who don't. Who
Yeah.
were like, ugh, I liked Jim Carrey better. Like the film was bad, but I liked the actor better. And I'm like,
oh no.
okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right, up next, let's watch
The Terminator.
The Terminal.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's just Terminal.
Just Terminal.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Terminal. The Terminator.
Is it a terminal or is it sickness? That's the question.
Blessed
Oh.
be Father,
Skull
for I
themes.
sinned.
Is that a skull?
What do you want?
Sort of.
Say whatever you want.
Just because it's shadowing.
Yeah, it's Margot Robbie.
Oh, love that haircut.
Yeah. I was waiting. I was making for you to make a comment about it.
I have an offer. I want you to kill someone for me.
I'm liking this already.
Yeah, I'm into this.
In a locker.
This is all my style.
Mr. Franklin. This is massive.
No trains till tomorrow. 404 going north.
Is that Simon Pegg?
Yep.
Was that Mike Myers?
Want my advice?
Not really.
Just
Not there.
What's that? Oh gosh. I want to have to watch this again now.
I'll set them on one another like starving rats in a cage, and you can watch through the bars.
Bang.
I'm here for
I
information.
love this.
Maybe a filthy lap dance if I can get one.
He always is rude.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is this a Guy Ritchie film?
I was gonna say.
Who says mystery's a lost art, eh? What's wrong with you?
There's not enough shooting.
I mean, there's a
For a
lot of
Guy
guns
Ritchie.
though.
Yeah, but
Right
there's no
before
actual
people
shot.
pull multiple guns.
Yeah.
So good.
Dexter Fletcher. Max Iron.
Hey, I was right.
Oh
Wow.
wow, it really is.
That's a good call. He does not look like.
Max Irons is a dope name.
It
Seriously,
is.
I'm
It's
jealous.
like Army Hammer.
Yeah.
They should do a movie together.
Yeah. It's like some sort of Bioshocky noir or something.
I
Okay.
feel like I'd rent it.
I read
That's a
an
rent.
article titled John Wick with Margot Robbie, basically.
Dope.
But
Wow.
it just didn't look. I mean,
It doesn't
John
look
Wick
like
is
that,
all
though.
like
All
100%
action.
action.
Yeah.
99%.
This is a
so.
lot more entertainment value.
A lot more
just like sex,
stylized
and
world
Stylized,
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
'Cause
looked like the trailer a little bit from was it Neon? No, it didn't.
So
No.
I'm already having trouble remembering the trailer, so I might actually switch that to just straight on skip.
Skip,
If I'm
yeah, skip.
already forgetting what the hell this
Yeah.
movie's
That's
about,
kinda
I'm
true.
probably
There are a
not
lot
gonna
of
like
quick
it.
cuts in that.
Yeah, it was
Well, I don't
extremely
know that we gleaned
stylized,
in-
very
or-
neon, very like Sin City
And
type.
yeah, but
vibe.
and like absolutely no.
Yeah,
No,
what did you
no
take
idea.
away from it?
I
What's
don't
going
know.
on?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I have no plot. It's like they gave us signs. They gave us stuff to read, and somehow they're like, it's like it did this, and then there's this, and then there's these people, and I was like, but
What is
wait,
it?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Yeah.
The immediate theme that I took away from it was that it was a Kansas City shuffle.
Yeah.
Where there was a whole bunch of conning
Sure,
cons in
sure,
this.
sure.
And that, and it was everybody was kind of.
shuffle.
Yeah, you
And-
said
Like
Guy
you never saw the
Ritchie.
movie.
Yeah.
It did kind
and
of
there
feel
was
like
going to be
that.
at least
Yeah.
one badass killing their way to the truth, and that's I like that.
That can be
I
fun.
like that theme. There was all
I
of
like that phrase.
It kind of looks like Kingsman too, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill
little
my
bit of
way
style
to the
to that.
truth.
yeah,
That's
Do
a
you mean
very
Kingsman as
Slytherin
well, or
mentality.
Kingsman
Kingsman
Fair
as
enough.
well. Sorry, not
But yeah.
Kingsman too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Rent unless somebody wants to go to the movies with me.
Yeah,
Rent.
I will totally go and see it with you. my
Cool.
friend.
That sounds like a good
Yeah.
time.
I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
'Cause
We'll
it's-
say this every
it's
week.
all
We'll say this every week. Yeah.
I mean Movie Pass, but I still feel like it's not worthy of me.
All right. I really want to watch this trailer. So
Archer season 9 official
Oh,
trailer.
baby. Here we go.
I just saw a burlesque act last night that was Pam and or not Pam, fucking Cheryl.
Okay.
This spring.
Kind of go limp.
Limp? Like this guy doesn't know what limp means, am I right? Lady?
What?
Oh gosh.
She looks great with that hair.
She does. She looks great all the time. Yes.
Oh my God, they're out there in the jungle. Great.
Oh, I'm
Now
liking the.
I want a hair patch or an eye patch.
Where the natives are restless.
Wait, he
I'll
got his
say.
eye back.
You'll say what?
What?
Damn it.
The urges are primal.
That German guy? Ew!
Bring me some more Wiener Schnitzel.
I'm surprised she can even walk.
And the women are wild.
It sounds like howler monkeys.
Archer. New season premieres Wednesday, April 25th. Only on
Yeah.
I will watch that. I will watch that instantly.
Yes.
I will watch that right now.
So
great.
the takeaway I got from that was just 2 words. Archer. Adventure.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the? What is he? What is?
Doc Savage.
What is this? This better not be a ruse. He's like, what is this? 1932 called? It's like they're playing in their language back. Thank you.
I really want him. I want to see him inside a fucking Phantom costume.
Yeah.
I want that to happen.
That could
That'd
be
be
fun.
freaking
Yeah.
amazing.
Pulp.
Pam looks
pulp adventure.
amazing.
It's pure
Can we
pulp.
talk about how
Yeah.
Pam looks great right
Pam
now?
looks fantastic.
Well, it's Pam.
I know.
Yeah. Pam. Is, since season 2. Pam,
She's my favorite.
Yeah,
The best
yeah,
mess.
steadily-
She's my favorite.
Also, Dr. Krieger is a parrot now.
Oh, that's what was
Yeah.
happening. Okay,
Yeah.
well that
I don't
doesn't
know if
I
surprise
didn't
me.
catch that. Yeah.
If he's
Yeah.
constantly clones,
yeah.
He's
I
got
have a
Clone
plant.
parrot time.
Plant.
I love this. This is great.
This is a good.
Also, Lucky Yates, very cool human being.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's freaking
okay.
dope.
So I think that was a pretty unanimous watch from all of
totally
us.
skip
Yeah,
from everyone.
immediately.
Yeah, skip
We're
from
all
everyone.
watching it together.
Archer season 9. We are going to cut, and we will see you at some point on YouTube with a Westworld
On
2
the
trailer
On a day.
reaction.
Any day.
Yes.
And with
Any day.
a Ready Player
Some
One
days.
review. So
Okay.
please stick around,
Okay.
tune in, click, I think is the
Oh,
word.
Bun.
Please click. Did
Smash
Bond make a
that-
Bond pun?
It's, what?
Did
What?
he make a Bond pun?
There's
No.
No, did he make a Bond Mo?
Oh.
No, it was a
Oh,
ready.
this-
We're moving on.
I'm leaving now.
Bye.
So yeah, hey, smash that subscribe button.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and all the rest.
Yeah,
all
hit them
the verbs.
notification bells. Ring them bells, kids.
Yes. All right. Thank
That's
you for
right.
tuning
Ding,
into
ding,
Screen
ding,
Source.
ding.
I've been Dylan.
I'm Fernando.
Oh right, we didn't. My name is Evening Star.
I'm Bon.
I'm Jessica.
And every Sunday we'll be dropping those reviews and trailer watches.
Oh yeah, see you next
next
time,
week.
homies.
Bye.
Boom.
Oh, what?
Hey.
Color circuit.